my name's Tom Driscoll, and I'm head trainer at Minneapolis and Suburban Bus Company, and today we're going to talk about pre-trip. Now normally when you do your pre-trip with your route, you're going to be using the 2010 scanner, what we call Zonar. We're not going to talk about Zonar today. We're going to use that as a topic for another video that we're going to do later. But I need to tell you that what really drives your pre-trip is based on the 11 pages that are printed here. Make sure that you have the latest version. This one is dated March 31st, and it's the latest version of the pre-trip. And use this to help with your understanding of these pre-trip concepts. So, that having been said, the first thing that you want to do is when you walk out to your bus, you need to look at your bus from far away. So don't just hang your head. You want to look at the bus. You want to see how the bus is sitting, whether it's sitting straight, whether you have a flat tire. You're looking for anything that's hanging, anything that's loose. Okay, there should be no excessive damage, and there should be no strange packages on the bus. I think it's a good idea to open the back door during the initial walk around, just to take another view to see if there's any strange packages on the bus. Having done that, you'll have walked all the way around the bus, and you will be ready to start your pre-trip. So what we're looking for is anything that's going to cause us to partner with dispatch, discontinue use of the bus, because time is always at a premium when you're doing pre-trip. You want to make it to your first stop on time, and if you have a bus with these problems, you're going to need to down the bus. So that concludes the initial walk around. Next we're going to look at left side under the hood. Okay, so here we are, left side under the hood. Now I'm assuming a couple of things. One is that if you were to do a pre-trip with Zonar, that you would have satisfied your initial Zonar requirements, namely that you scanned your tag and the asset tag. But since this is not about Zonar, we're going to put that aside for now. Okay, and we're going to assume that you've also walked around the bus, and that if you found anything wrong that would down the bus, that you've done that and got put on a different bus. So I'm going to assume that the initial walk around was successful, and now we're going to move a little bit closer, and we're going to do left side under the hood. So now we're doing left side under the hood. Remember that when we're pre-tripping the bus tells us what's next, almost always. So what you're doing is you're going from top down, usually left to right, but when you're doing under the hood, you're kind of going in an S fashion, and we're starting with the electrical box. The electrical box is at the top, and we see that it's secure, no damage. And we look at our electrical wires, and we see no cuts, no frays. Also, we're going to look at our fluid hoses, and we have fluid hoses here, and other ones here and down below. And we look at the condition of our fluid hoses. We see no cuts, no leaks. I can touch my radiator, the engine should not be running, and I can see that the radiator is secure and that it's filled to proper level. Okay, that means that it's solid, red here, and it's not showing up here, but we see that it is solid here, so it is filled to proper level. Okay, and then we have our automatic transmission fluid here, and we have our oil here. They are checked the same way, so that what you want to do is pull out the stick. You want to clean it with a paper towel and put it back in, and then pull it back out and check it and make sure it's filled to proper level. With the oil level, we could check now. If we were to check it, we could check it now for our oil, because the engine is not running. For the automatic transmission, the engine would need to be running. So remember that, but they are checked in the same way. So we'll move on. We have our air compressor down here, and our air lines. For air compressor, remember, it's important to say what you're looking at and what you're looking for. So for air compressor, I hear no leaks, and I see that it is secure. And likewise, my airlines, I hear no leaks, and I see that they are secure. For power steering fluid, I can see on the side that it is filled to proper level. The other way is similar to checking oil. You can remove the cap, and you can wipe it clean and check that way. But we can see right here that it is filled to proper level. It's above the minimum. Likewise, we have supply lines for the power steering fluid, no cuts and no leaks. And that's about it for the top of the left side, and we will now get ready to start our steering. And once you do steering items, it's good to do all of the steering items. Once you do suspension, it's good to do all the suspension items. So we're going to start with the top, with the steering, and then we'll continue on from there. We have steering column here. It's greased in 3 places, okay, and it is secure. And we have our steering gear over here. No damage, no leaks, okay. Our pitman arm, the pin is in and it is secure, and our drag link is secure. Okay, now another point to remember is that you need to comment on your supply hose for your return and your supply hose for your steering gear. So for those items, no cuts, no leaks. Okay, likewise, I can also see my power steering pump supply hose here, and the pump would be down behind the frame. It's a good time to comment on the frame because you can see a lot of the frame here. You need to comment on your frame 2 times in your pre-trip. This would be the first time, and I see my frame has no damage, no excessive rust. And that would be it for the steering. We're going to continue on with suspension then. So for suspension, we have shock absorber, secure on both ends, and no leaks for my shock absorber. We have leaf springs, no pieces missing, no damage, and no cracks for the leaf springs. And our hangers are here and all the way back here, which you might not be able to see, but I'm pointing to the hanger all the way on the other side. And my hangers have no excessive rust and they are secure. My U-bolts are here. If you can see that they're secure, comment that they're secure. If you see that they're rusty, comment that they're rusty. Okay, so my U-bolts look secure, no excessive rust. And you can also comment on your front axle at this time. You can say no damage on this side. And that concludes the suspension items. And then next we'll go on to the 3 brake items. So let's go to the brake items here. We have the brake hose here. No cuts, I hear no leaks. It's important that you say I hear no leaks because this is an air brake bus. And your brake chamber, no cracks, no dents, no welds on the brake chamber. And then your slack adjuster. Slack adjuster's right here. Put your hand on like this, and you say that you have no more than 1 inch of play on your slack adjuster. And that takes care of your 3 brake items. Next we'll do the inside of the wheel assembly. Now we're going to talk about the 5 wheel items, and it starts with the axle seal. The axle seal is in here towards the center of the wheel. You're not going to be able to see the axle seal, but if the axle seal is bad, you will see fluid all over the drum. You'll see fluid all over here. So I'm going to say that my axle seal is good. I'm going to say that my brake drum, which is here, has no cracks, no dents, no welds, and that my brake pad is the proper thickness, no less than 1/4 inch, and no contaminants. I look at my inside rim, and you can look all the way around, no cracks, no dents, no welds, and my inside rubber, no bubbles, no rubber missing. Okay, and that concludes the 5 wheel items. And next we'll do top of tread and the outside of the wheel items. Okay, now we do the outside of the wheel assembly. So we have top of tread. Top of tread, no less than 4/30 seconds of tread, no less than 4/30 seconds. Recaps are not allowed. Outside of tread here, no bubbles, no rubber missing. Okay, outside rim, no cracks, no dents, no welds in my outside rim. And my lug nuts, none loose, none shiny on my lug nuts. And on my wheel seal, I see no leaks. And so my wheel seal is good. And then I kick the mud flap to make sure that that is secure. And also, you must say, to get credit for your tire, you got to say that it's filled to proper pressure. Now, to do that, you need to say that you would use a mallet to test, and then ask the tester or trainer if they want you to use a mallet to test. You can kick the tires, but that's not the true test of the tires, so you would use mallet to test. So once you've done that, then you would get your tire credit, and that's the end of left side under the hood. Now we're going to do right side under the hood. We're only going to do the unique items on the right side. We're going to observe everything on the right side, but we're only going to comment on the unique side, or the unique items on the right side. Okay, so now we're doing the right side under the hood, and as you remember, we're only going to talk about the unique items, the items that are different on the right side, and we'll observe everything on the right side, but we'll only comment on these 7 items. And we'll start with the air filter. Air filter is secured to the bus, and no obstructions for my air filter. Okay, my alternator is secured to the bus, and I see no cuts or frays on my electrical wiring, so my alternator is secured to the bus. Next I have my fan belt. Fan belt, no more than 3/4 of an inch of play, and I can feel the teeth, so the fan belt is not worn and it is not too loose. No more than 3/4 of an inch of play. My fan turns freely. Okay. If the fan did not turn freely, you probably have a bad water pump. My washer fluid is filled to proper level and it's secure. Okay, and my heater hoses are over here. My heater hoses are on in the winter, and there's no cuts, no leaks. And then lastly, I have my water pump. My water pump is right here. My water pump has no leaks. And that concludes my right side under the hood. Remember that you need to secure the hood on both sides, okay? And then you come over to the door and you make some comments on the door. You need to take a look at this door, make sure that it's opening properly, closing properly. Okay, and that the tie rods are connected properly with no damage. Okay, and my glass has no cracks, no leaks, and my rubber seals are not damaged. As I go inside, I'm going to comment on my handrails. My handrails are secure, and my student light is secure. It's not on yet because the bus is not on, so I can't comment on that, but I can comment that the lens is not broken, not damaged, and that my stairwell has no obstructions. And now I am ready to go inside the bus.